In this video you will learn how to make a simple and healthy rice sourdough bread. What a lovely day to bake! Moin, my name is Arne, German hobby baker who is living in Luxembourg. Today we bake again a rice sourdough bread in a loaf pan. Loaves from a loaf pan are quite simple and have a guaranteed success. I've often tried to integrate carrots in breads. In wheat or pure spelt bread it usually doesn't work so well. With rye bread it looks different. The taste of the carrot is balanced by the sourness of the sourdough, and the carrot keeps the bread fresh longer. Combined with flax seeds and walnuts, I will now show you my fitness bread recipe. So let's get started. This is from Luxembourg with Loaf.
The evening before we want to bake, we already have to do some preparation for our main dough. We want to make a pre-soak with cracked rice seeds, that's 150 grams, and 100 grams of lime seeds, as well as 6 grams of salt. And then we add 100 degrees Celsius hot water or 212 degrees Fahrenheit, and we need 250 grams of it. And then we take a spoon and stir it all together. So here's the complete recipe, so stop the video and make a screenshot. So after stirring everything together, it's time to make our levain. Levain is basically a very freshed up sourdough starter, so by adding fresh flour and water to it you will get a levain. For this we combine 300 grams of rye flour with 350 grams of water, 6 grams of salt, and this is something very special because we want to have a salt-sour starter which actually boosts the enzyme activities. And then we add 60 grams of our sourdough starter. And then take a spoon and stir it all together. Cover your levain with plastic wrap and leave it overnight, as well as the pre-soak at room temperature. At the next morning, the kitchen looks a little bit messy, yes, but it's worth the effort. So this is our levain, really raised nice. This is a pre-soak from yesterday. So let's start with the main dough, and therefore we need 75 grams of spelt flour, you can also take wheat flour, and 25 grams of rye flour. And then we take our levain and put that as well into our mixing bowl. Of course you can also use a stand mixer. Make sure you use a very low speed and not a very long time, because actually rye doesn't want to be kneaded at high speed. Then we also add our pre-soak. And now it's time to add walnuts, it's 50 grams, and the carrots also 50 grams. Let's add 30 grams of water to it, and then you can start incorporating all ingredients with a wooden spoon or metal spoon or whatever you have. It's a very sticky dough, so don't be confused. and then take your dough scraper, and we can then put them into a baking pan. And this is a 28 centimeter baking pan. So if you want to reduce the amount of dough with baker's mass, and I will link you a video later in this video, then of course you can measure how much you need to scale down or up your recipe for your loaf pan. By the way, I have greased my loaf pan before with some olive oil, so please do the same in order to get the bread later on really good out of your loaf pan. Try to smooth the surface of your dough a little bit so that it looks better later. And then leave it covered at room temperature.
While we wait for the sourdough to unfold its power, I would be happy if you would support me and my channel. So take a moment and like this video, subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next videos. Thanks!
So 3.5 hours have passed, and look at my loaf pan. The dough really raised much. So I was a little bit scared that it would overflow my loaf pan. So I decided to bake it now already. The oven is preheated at 230 degrees Celsius, that's 446 degrees Fahrenheit. And by entering the bread into the oven, I will reduce the temperature to 280 degrees Celsius, that's 356 degrees Fahrenheit. And then I take my spiral and I inject some water into my steamer. I also make a complete video how to steam in your oven. I add some water to the oven as well for some extra steam. So, and after 1 hour and 20, the bread is ready and it looks really good and also smells really good. So I transfer it on a cooling rack and let it cool for about 2-3 hours. So it is now time to cut the bread, and look at this marbling from the carrot. It looks really gorgeous. I actually have baked the bread at a little different temperature at 250 degrees at the beginning, and that's why you see here that the upper crust is a little bit elevating from the bread. But it still looks really, really nice. Enjoy your bread.
I hope you liked my video. As you saw, my loaf pan was a little full. Therefore, I could not let the bread rise quite so much. Thus, the bread might have become a little area. However, it tastes very good to me. You can easily scale down the bread to your appropriate form. I link you here a video to baker's mass. How did you like my bread? Write me a comment below this video. See you in the next video. Adieu and goodbye.